It's a new year, and the Apple Watch is the ultimate fitness tracker available in the market. Even in 2024, nothing beats an Apple Watch. So if you have one of these, I'm going to go ahead and show you the settings I highly recommend for you to adjust to make the calorie tracking as accurate as much as possible. So if your new year resolution is to be more active, to get fit, then you're watching the right video, especially if you're using an Apple Watch to track all that. With that said, let's get started. So here's a quick overview of the Apple Fitness app, which previously was named the Activity app. Basically, this monitors your move, your exercise, and your stance, and all that good stuff. However, a thing that a lot of people always fail to do is update their health information. So by tapping on your profile and going to health details, here's where you go in and edit, not just make sure your date of birth is on point, your sex, your height, as well as your weight. And then here you can also enable wheelchair as well. But it's good to always make sure your weight is accurate. And right now mine is not because I'm currently 177. So by updating this will allow the Apple Watch to be more accurate when it's measuring your calories, especially during your workouts. And then if you have like medications, if you're on some type of medication and stuff like that, this can also impact your calories. And Apple's fully aware of that. Mine doesn't say this because I don't have any medication. I don't need to take any meds or anything like that on a daily basis. But if you do, you will then want to go into your health app. If you don't see it up here, tap on your profile, click on health details, make sure everything's up to date here. You can add more stuff too, like blood type. I really don't think that will affect your calorie count though. But what you want to do is tap edit where it says medications that affect the heart rate. Check mark the ones that you take on a daily basis. And if you don't see the ones you take here, you don't have to do that. Like that could just be medication that will not affect your calorie count. Now for number two, make sure that you earn moves and exercise credit. Now, yes, I am pulling this information directly out of Apple's website. I have a link in the description down below, which inspired me to make this video, but I'm just sharing you my real world tips as well, things I've learned after using a collection of many different Apple Watches. But this applies on all Apple Watches as a quick disclosure. So to make sure that you earn all the like credits that you earn, first tip is if you have doggos like I do, what I typically avoid of doing is using the hand that has the leash. I try not using that's wearing the Apple Watch. So in other words, this hand has the Apple Watch. I'm gonna be using this hand to hold my dog, while this other hand will still maintain the regular walking motion. But to get the most accurate steps credits as much as possible, start an outdoor walk. I highly recommend doing this. Yes, it will draw a little more battery life out of your Apple Watch, but again, you're outdoors, you're actually doing it in intense motion repeatedly. This will definitely allow you to get those credits that you are collecting towards, as every brisk walk will count towards your exercise and move goals. Now, it's stated here on Apple's website as well, where for wheelchair users, this will be measured in brisk pushes. For any activities below this level counts only towards your daily move goal. Now, Apple's engineer who worked with the Apple Watch workout side of things, they also recommend if you're pushing a scroller, just turn on the outdoor walk exercise, as this will utilize not just step motion for the accelerometer, but it will utilize GPS as well as your heart rate by utilizing the heart rate tracker. So they demonstrate this example was pushing a scroller, but if you don't have kids like I do, another way you could easily utilize this is pushing a shopping cart in the store. So you want to turn on outdoor walk regardless, even if you're inside a building, because you're moving around. You're not fixed like on a conveyor belt. Now, third thing that Apple engineers advise is making sure you have wrist detection turned on. Now, this is always on by default, but I understand some people may want to turn this off, especially if you have a PIN code. This way, when you take off your Apple Watch, it doesn't require you to unlock your Apple Watch. It still thinks you're still wearing it. So by turning that off, it basically allows the Apple Watch to not monitor you. But you don't want to do this if you're actually trying to like track every single calorie. So make sure that's turned on. And in case you don't know how to do that, all you simply got to do is to quickly launch the Apple Watch app and go into passcode, and you'll find it right here, wrist detection. Make sure it's turned on if you're trying to track every last calorie. Now, for number four, check the fit. In other words, make sure your Apple Watch band is making direct contact to your skin. A lot of bands are different. I have some leather bands that allow the Apple Watch to be more loose. Like this titanium one also is slightly loose. It still gives the Apple the capability to track your calories through bloodstream and blood oxygen sensor if you have that. It's supposed to give you the best accurate ECG results. But in my personal opinion, it's this band right here, these loop style ones, that are going to give you the best comfortable fit regardless, allowing the sensors to make good contact on your skin. The beauty about these loop bands is when you're storing them away, you can also wrap it around this way to like protect your screen if you have to put it in your pocket in case you're doing mechanic work. That's a first hand experience I usually face when wearing an Apple Watch. I have to fit through an engine block. I typically just do this and fit it in my back pocket so it's out of the way. And once I'm done, I just strap it back on. The other second best bands are these silicone ones. These always allow me to get a close nice fit that's pretty comfortable but not too loose. But the one that I personally like is these Nike ones that have multiple holes because you can really fit it in there and it will continue allowing your wrist to be breathable. But the con with these like strap ones is they do tend to collect sweat, so they will smell, but they're easy to wash in the washer if you have to. But it's really rare for me to like have a stinky band, but I have had bands in the past that do collect some nasty odors and have to wash it at least once a year, twice a year in the washer. But of all the bands I own, this one's definitely is the one that will guarantee you the best fit as much as possible. Even the third parties work exactly the same like the official Apple ones. Now for number five, this also falls in the number four category. Not sure why Apple separated it too, but again, for the most accurate heart rate measurement, you want to make sure your Apple Watch fits snugly on top of your wrist. And then you also want to make sure that the heart rate sensor is turned on. A common mistake a lot of people would typically do, especially if you're like always against like privacy data and you're just not sure, is in the privacy setting sometimes this pops up where it says what type of data you want to show, and most people just hit none at all. And this includes a heart rate sensor. So by going on the Apple Watch app, go into privacy, and right above here where it says heart rate, make sure it's turned on because I noticed some people actually accidentally have this turned off. So it won't be able to track anything. So make sure that's on. This way, by launching the fitness app, you can go in the exercise and you'll be able to monitor your heart rate right here on what's average and give you a lot of more information. And then this is also powerful information right here because this allows you to monitor your breaks between each set. So if you see like long gaps, this way you can visually see how long of a break you're taking and you'll be self-aware that you should probably shorten it if you see it gapped way too much. Now for number six is choose the best workout for you. Now I'm a veteran when it comes to the Apple Watch. I've been using the Apple Watch ever since the Series Zero, so I have started from the very first generation when Apple was beta testing this, even before it even was available to the public. I have full hands-on experience with the Apple Watch. And the most common mistakes a lot of people do is the incorrect exercise, especially at the gym, because this is overwhelming. Yes, it's amazing that there's a workout category for literally everything that even exists, and even some of the weird ones you never even knew existed. It's all here in the Apple Watch, and you can modify these as well. And so, to give you my mistakes, the things I've personally learned is for the gym, select strength training. If you like to track your steps in the Costco as an example, do outdoor walk, as it'll utilize GPS like I previously stated. Or if you're working at a big warehouse, yeah, outdoor walk will work as well. And if you're doing multiple different workouts or just hard labor stuff, but you just want the heart rate sensor to go on and track your calories that you're sweating out, select other. And if you're doing mixed cardio stuff, you even have mixed cardio, which will work well with HIIT cardio. So like CrossFit and stuff as an example, especially circuit training. Now, by default, every Apple Watch will come standard with a bunch of different random workouts that you will typically never use. So if you like to clear this out, just like with the App Store or your app library, I'm sorry, you can swipe to delete them and you can add the correct ones you want to see in this library to have quick access to. So that's a little tip right there. Number seven, they say calibrate your Apple Watch. Beauty about the Apple Watch is that it's so advanced that it does this automatically on a daily basis. Just by simply doing an outdoor run for a good 10 or plus minutes, basically using GPS, your heart rate, and the distance you travel, it's going to put all those numbers together and make sure that the Apple Watch is calibrated correctly. It does it all automatically, seamless, and you don't really have to do anything. Especially if you're using a Series 2 or newer Apple Watch, as these Apple Watches all come with GPS as standard. So as soon as you start an outdoor run with GPS will connect to the Apple Watch, and it's going to use that data and those numbers and to always recalibrate to make sure you're always hitting the best accurate number as much as possible. But there are some settings that could be disabled by default, or you might have accidentally disabled this. To make sure you have all the sensors enabled to allow the Apple Watch to see these numbers and self-calibrate, you need to go on your iPhone, launch the settings app, and scroll down to privacy and security. Tap on location services and turn the main one on, but then scroll all the way down to the very bottom where it says system services. And if you look closely right here, motion calibration and distance is turned on. So this also allows the iPhone itself to also recalibrate on a daily basis. So make sure this is turned on and you're good to go. And that's how I'm able to make my Apple Watch track literally everything as accurate as much as possible, and some settings that typically people will just overlook and just forget. So now you are informed, and if you got some good usage out of this video, leave a like, and those help others who are just like in your shoes looking for this type of information to see this video on their video feed. So if you could take 2 seconds to leave a like, that'd be much appreciated. And while you're down there, why not hit that subscribe button as well, especially if you enjoy a lot of tech videos just like this. Now, if you have an Apple Watch Ultra, I have a video just for you, and that is right over here. 40 amazing things you could do with the Apple Watch in terms of tips and tricks and some unique settings that Apple recently added. Make sure to check out that video so you can really utilize your Apple Watch to its full potential. And if you don't have an Ultra, I also have that video right over there for all the amazing new tips and tricks of Apple Watches in general. Thanks so much for watching.